guys, Janet here at the 4-H office. Today's fun experiment, we are going to turn a regular egg into a naked egg without the shell. Now this is a totally raw egg that I experimentally altered, and to do that we're going to do a little kitchen science. We are going to take 2 raw eggs. We're going to need some vinegar in a dish, which I just use apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar if you want to, it doesn't matter. The white is it's clearer, so it's going to be easier to see the experiment, especially through the sides of a clear dish. You can tell that my solution is dark, and as the experiment went on, it just got darker. So, what you need also is a refrigerator. You're going to take your 2 eggs, put them inside your dish, just set them in, pour the vinegar around it. You can leave it in for 24 hours with the top on, pour the vinegar off, and then put more vinegar on if you choose. I didn't do that for my experiment. I just left the same vinegar in the dish for 3 days. Now, this experiment, minimum of 3 days, up to 7 to see the best effects. So, what's happening? How do we get naked eggs, and why is that important? So, naked eggs are a really cool little chemistry experiment where you can take a look at the calcium in eggshells. That's what gives the eggshells the strength and the colors, the calcium. And what we're doing is we're taking the vinegar, which is a very mild, very light acid, and we're actually dissolving the shell, leaving the egg intact with all of the membranes around the egg. So the acid creates a chemical reaction, and you'll see little bubbles on your eggshell and your egg as it's dissolving, the shell's dissolving. That's carbon dioxide being released. You might also notice, like when mine was in the refrigerator, the top of the dish actually rose a little bit and popped off because I had so much gas buildup in there from not opening it after the first day. So, really cool fact, your teeth made up of lots of calcium. Really important for us to brush our teeth at least twice a day to protect our teeth. We drink and eat a lot of foods that have acids in them, like I love coffee. Coffee is very acidic. So that will actually start wearing my teeth down if I'm not careful, which we see with our naked egg. So I'm going to hold this up. This egg is totally raw. If I move it back and forth, you can see the yolk moving. I have washed my egg. I've been very, very careful with it to wash it, but you can still see part of the shell that's on the egg. It didn't quite dissolve. This was the top of the egg that I didn't rotate under into my vinegar. You can also take a whiff. Woo! That does smell like vinegar. But you'll also notice, if I hold up my 2 eggs, my naked egg is much, much bigger. This is really, really cool about eggs. The shell and the lining, the membranes inside, are semi-permeable. So if you're doing an incubation project and you have a chick growing in your egg, there's air exchange, okay? Air can get in as the chick's growing, carbon dioxide can get out so that the chick grows and develops properly. Well, not only can air escape and enter the egg, so can liquids. Once we take the shell off, we're left with the membranes, which is the lining. If you crack an egg, you'll see a lining inside the shell. That's what this is. So this is semi-permeable to water, to smaller liquid molecules. So vinegar, which is 96% water, is thinner than the egg white itself and will actually push itself into the egg, plumping it up, giving it a little bit of, I'd say a little rubbery consistency. You could drop these if you want. I don't want to do that today. But you could drop these and they would bounce a little bit. But really cool little science experiment, naked eggs. For more experiments and to learn about different science topics, the liquid plumps up our egg by moving in through osmosis. What would happen if we were to take our naked egg and put it into something that was viscous, that was thicker? Cool addition to this science experiment, so why don't we give it a try and see. Alright, so we saw what happened with our naked eggs when we took something, a solution that was less viscous, that was thinner in consistency than the egg white. And what would happen? We actually, through osmosis, plumped up our egg. So, to extend this experiment, what do you think would happen if I took my naked egg and I put it into a solution that was more viscous, that was thicker? what do you think would happen? So I have some corn syrup, and we're actually going to take our naked egg. Now remember the size, and we're going to put it in our corn syrup. We'll let this set for a few days, and I will let you know next week how it turned out. So we've got our egg in our corn syrup bath. If you notice, corn syrup much thicker than water or the vinegar. You can see the egg actually floating on top. So this is about a minute or two after I've added the egg to our corn syrup bath. It is sinking a little bit, but really the corn syrup is holding the egg up. Right, guys, here we have our naked egg and our reverse osmosis naked egg. This is 1 week after we put our naked egg into the corn syrup, and if we take a closer look, you can see that we actually dehydrated our egg. We created an egg raisin. The pancake syrup was much thicker than the vinegar and the egg white and actually drew that liquid out and deflated our egg. If you look at the two eggs side by side, you can see our naked egg on the left on the blue lid, totally plumped up, and our raisin egg on the right on the red lid, totally dehydrated. So, extension of last week's naked egg experiment. Have a great day.